Imagine holding a piece of history in your hand, a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that it could instantly make you one of the luckiest people alive. Today, we're diving into the world of the most valuable, super rare US coins, coins that collectors and investors dream about. Could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing? Imagine reaching into your pocket tonight, pulling out a simple quarter, and realizing that tiny piece of metal could change your financial future forever. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet across the United States, collectors and auction houses are constantly searching for one specific coin that many Americans have unknowingly handled countless times. The mysterious and highly talked about 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter. A quarter that looks ordinary at first glance, but in rare error form, it has stunned the numismatic world with values that can climb toward $1 million. Now pause for a moment and think about this. How many quarters have passed through your hands in your lifetime? Hundreds? Thousands? Maybe even tens of thousands. What if just one of them was the rare treasure collectors are desperately hunting today? What if that overlooked coin sitting in a drawer, a jar, or even the cup holder of your car is actually a life-changing asset? Let's step back into the mid-1960s, a fascinating moment in American coin history. The United States Mint had just undergone a major transformation after the national coin shortage. In fact, during this era the Mint made the unusual decision to remove mint marks from most coins in order to discourage hoarding. That's why the famous Washington quarter produced in 1966 appears without a mint mark at all. Every quarter that year looks the same to the casual observer. But hidden among millions of normal pieces, a handful of extremely rare minting errors quietly slipped into circulation, and this is where the story becomes truly exciting. Collectors discovered that some 1966 quarters were struck under unusual conditions that created rare mint errors. Some show dramatic double dies. Others have off-center strikes or striking anomalies that make the design appear distorted. And in the rarest cases, the coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet. When that happens, the result becomes something collectors call a numismatic miracle. Let me ask you something important. When was the last time you carefully examined the quarters in your pocket change? Not just glanced at them, but truly looked at them, because here's the fascinating truth. Valuable coins are not always locked away in museums or millionaire collections. Sometimes they quietly circulate through grocery stores, gas stations, and vending machines for decades before someone finally notices their true value. Picture this moment. A man in the United States once sorted through a small jar of change on his kitchen table. Nothing unusual at first. Just nickels, pennies, and a few quarters. But one quarter caught his attention. The strike looked strange. The details were sharper in some areas and distorted in others. Curious, he had the coin evaluated. The results shocked him. Experts confirmed he had discovered a rare error example of the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter, and the coin world immediately took notice. Serious collectors began competing for similar pieces, driving the value dramatically upward. Today, the finest examples with dramatic mint errors can command prices approaching $1 million in elite auctions. Yes, you heard that correctly. One single quarter, potentially worth $1 million. Now here's the question many viewers ask immediately. How is that even possible? The answer is simple but powerful. Rarity plus demand equals extraordinary value. The coin collecting community is enormous, with passionate collectors across the United States constantly competing to own the rarest examples of historic coins. When a coin combines history, rarity, and dramatic mint errors, collectors become extremely motivated to secure it for their collections. And that leads to another important question many viewers ask: how do you actually sell old rare coins in the United States? If you ever discover a valuable coin, the first step is authentication. Professional grading services examine the coin's authenticity and condition. Once certified, the coin becomes far more attractive to collectors and investors. From there, many owners choose to sell through major auction houses where wealthy collectors compete for rare coins. Others sell through specialized coin dealers or numismatic marketplaces. But the key is knowledge. The more you understand about your coin, the stronger your position becomes when negotiating its value. think about that for a moment. A simple coin in your pocket today could potentially fund a dream vacation, eliminate debt, or even help build long-term financial freedom. That's why coin experts often say the journey from pocket change to millions is not just a fantasy. It's a real possibility for people who learn what to look for, and let's be honest for a second. When most people see a quarter, they see 25 cents. But collectors see something very different. They see history. They see rarity. They see opportunity. So the next time you receive change at a grocery store, a coffee shop, or a gas station, ask yourself a simple question: what if this coin is the one collectors are searching for? What if this ordinary-looking 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter in your hand contains a rare mint error that could completely transform its value? Of course, not every 1966 quarter will be valuable. But the rare ones that do contain significant errors have become some of the most exciting discoveries in modern coin collecting. And that excitement continues to grow every year as collectors hunt for the next remarkable find. Let me ask you another question. Do you have an old coin jar at home? Maybe a box of coins from a relative? Perhaps a collection that hasn't been examined in years. You might be sitting on something extraordinary without even realizing it. Across America, stories continue to emerge of people discovering rare coins in the most unexpected places. In desk drawers. In inherited collections. Even inside old piggy banks. And every time a rare coin appears at auction, collectors around the world pay close attention. Because the next historic discovery could be hiding anywhere. So if you are serious about learning how to make money from coins, start with curiosity. Examine your pocket change. Look closely at dates, mint marks, and unusual features. Study the coins that experts are searching for. Imagine reaching into a jar of old coins on your kitchen shelf, the same jar that has been collecting pocket change for years. You pick up a simple quarter, worn slightly from decades of circulation. At first glance it looks ordinary. But what if that small silver-colored coin in your hand could secretly be worth $3 million? Yes, a single quarter. Not gold, not diamonds, just a humble coin that once bought a cup of coffee. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at the coins in your pocket? Could one of them be hiding a life-changing fortune? Across America, thousands of people carry loose change every single day without realizing that rare coins quietly travel through circulation like hidden treasures. And among those hidden treasures is a fascinating mystery that collectors and auction houses continue to talk about with excitement. The United States 1967 Washington quarter with no mint mark and a rare minting error. A coin that looks ordinary but in the right condition, with the right error, has stunned the coin world with a market value reaching $3 million. Before we dive deeper, pause for a moment and imagine this scenario. You are cleaning your drawer at home. Old receipts, batteries, keys, and a small pile of quarters spill out onto the table. One of them shows the familiar portrait of George Washington. Nothing unusual, or so it seems. But what if that exact moment becomes the beginning of a story that changes your financial future forever? The year 1967 was a unique time in American coin history. During the mid-1960s, the United States Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them. That means most 1967 quarters naturally have no mint mark at all. However, within those millions of coins, a few extremely rare minting errors slipped through the minting process. These errors were never meant to exist. Yet they did. And today they are among the most hunted coins in the American numismatic market. Now here is where things get truly exciting. Some of these rare 1967 Washington quarters were struck with dramatic mint errors. Misaligned dies, double strikes, and other unusual production mistakes created coins that collectors consider extraordinary. These rare pieces are not just coins anymore. They are artifacts of a minting mistake that should never have happened, and here is the question that sparks curiosity for thousands of viewers watching videos like this. Could one of those rare error coins still be sitting inside a coin jar, an old wallet, or a forgotten box in someone's attic? It sounds unbelievable, yet history proves it happens again and again. Think about it. The quarter was designed to be spent. It passed through grocery stores, gas stations, vending machines, and pockets across America for decades. Many people never looked closely at them. But collectors do. Auction houses do. And when one of these rare error quarters appears on the market, the competition among collectors becomes intense. Imagine the room at a prestigious coin auction in the United States. The lights are bright, the air filled with anticipation. Collectors, investors, and dealers sit quietly as the auctioneer lifts a small coin under the spotlight. It is the 1967 Washington Quarter error. Bidding begins. $10,000. $50,000. $100,000. The numbers rise rapidly as collectors compete to own a piece of history. Now let me ask you a question that might change the way you look at your spare change forever. What if the next rare coin discovered at auction doesn't come from a professional collector, but from someone like you? Someone who simply decided to check their pocket change more carefully. The design of the 1967 Washington Quarter is familiar to most Americans. On the front, the dignified portrait of George Washington faces left, surrounded by the words "Liberty and in God we trust." On the reverse, a powerful eagle spreads its wings, holding arrows and olive branches. It represents strength and peace at the same time. But in rare error versions, subtle differences appear. Slight doubling in the lettering, unusual strike patterns, or dramatic minting mistakes that immediately catch the eye of trained collectors. Here is something interesting. Many valuable coins were once dismissed as ordinary. A person might have spent them unknowingly decades ago. Another might have tossed them into a drawer without a second thought. Yet today, those same coins are being hunted by serious collectors willing to pay extraordinary amounts to secure them. Now think about your own home. Do you have a jar filled with quarters and pennies? Maybe an old piggy bank from years ago. Maybe coins left behind by parents or grandparents. Could there be a hidden treasure waiting quietly among them? This brings us to one of the most common questions viewers ask. How can you sell old rare coins in the United States? The answer begins with knowledge. Rare coins must first be properly identified and evaluated. Professional grading services examine coins carefully, verifying authenticity and condition. The higher the grade and the rarer the error, the greater the potential value. Another question many people ask is how to make money from coins that were once just pocket change. The secret is patience and awareness. Coin collectors understand that rarity, condition, and historical significance determine value. A coin that appears ordinary today might become highly desirable tomorrow if collectors discover a rare variation or minting error. Auction houses across the United States regularly feature rare American coins that attract global attention. When an exceptional coin appears, bidders from around the world compete to own it. This is how a simple quarter can transform from 25 cents into a coin worth millions, and here is a thought that might surprise you. The journey from pocket change to millions has already happened for many rare coins. Someone once held them without realizing their importance. Someone once spent them casually. Yet today those same coins are protected inside collectors' vaults, admired as treasures of American history. So let me ask you something directly. When you empty your pockets tonight, will you look at your coins the same way as before? Or will curiosity make you pause for a moment and examine each one more closely, because hidden among ordinary change could be a rare 1967 Washington Quarter with a minting error that collectors dream about discovering. A coin that quietly traveled through decades of American commerce before revealing its true value. Stories like this remind us of something powerful. Wealth does not always arrive in obvious ways. Sometimes it hides in the smallest objects, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it. And who knows? The next incredible discovery in the coin collecting world might not come from a professional dealer or a museum archive. It might come from someone watching this video right now, checking a simple quarter from their pocket. We're diving into one of the most extraordinary coin discoveries in the history of United States currency, the 1979 D-Mint Mark Washington Quarter dollar error. A coin so rare, so highly sought after, that its current market value can reach a staggering $3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $3 million from a coin you might have overlooked in your own change. You might be asking yourself, how could a simple quarter, something we use every day without a second thought, hold this kind of power? How does a coin that's been circulating for over 40 years suddenly become a ticket to unimaginable wealth? And more importantly, could the coin in your pocket, your change jar, or your old collection be the next life-altering find? These are the questions that drive collectors, investors, and dreamers alike. Let's start at the beginning, because understanding the story of the 1979 Washington Quarter era is like opening a treasure map. Most of us know the Washington Quarter as a staple of American currency, a reliable piece of metal we take for granted. But in 1979, something extraordinary happened at the Denver Mint. A minting error occurred, a rare misstrike that made certain quarters incredibly unique. These errors could be anything from double dies to off-center strikes, but the 1979 Mint mark error is in a league of its own. It's a coin that collectors describe as breathtaking, must-have, for anyone serious about rare coins. Now, I know what you're thinking: wait, am I looking at my old change, hoping for a jackpot? Well, here's the exciting part. While not every 1979 quarter is a multi-million-dollar coin, the rare errors, specific misstrikes, anomalies, and minting quirks, can skyrocket in value. These are the coins that attract global attention at auction houses. Imagine the excitement in a packed room as a coin goes under the hammer, each bid higher than the last, until the final hammer drop confirms a $3 million sale. The thrill, the anticipation, the sheer disbelief, it's enough to make your heart race. But let's pause for a moment. Before you rush to shake out every old coin from your drawer, ask yourself, do you know how to identify a genuine 1979 Mint mark error? How do you distinguish between an ordinary quarter and one that could make you rich? And if you do find one, what's the safest way to sell it? How do you turn this small, seemingly insignificant coin into real, life-changing money? These are the questions that separate casual collectors from serious, wealthy coin investors. The journey of this coin isn't just about the metal, it's about timing, knowledge, and opportunity. Picture a moment in history when the Denver Mint produced these coins, unaware that decades later, collectors would be scrambling to own them. It's almost poetic, the idea that something so ordinary, so overlooked, could hold extraordinary value. And isn't that what life is often like? Opportunities hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough to recognize them. Now, let's talk about excitement. There's something almost cinematic about rare coin collecting. Imagine a collector who stumbles upon a 1979 Washington Quarter error in a drawer full of decades-old coins. Their hands tremble. Their heart races. Could this coin be the one that finally turns pocket change into millions? The possibilities ignite a fire of hope, ambition, and yes, a little bit of fear. Because we all know the fear of missing out, the regret of overlooking something that could change your life. How often have you wished you had acted sooner, bought sooner, believed sooner? Rare coins teach us a powerful lesson: fortune favors the attentive, the informed, the brave. And speaking of lessons, let's inject a little humor here, because who knew rare coins could also make us chuckle? Imagine telling your neighbor you found a coin worth $3 million in your laundry pile. Would they believe you? Probably not, but that disbelief makes the discovery even sweeter. It's a gentle reminder that extraordinary wealth often comes from the most unexpected places, but the story doesn't end with finding the coin. Selling it is another challenge entirely. How do you sell old, rare coins in the United States? How do you ensure you receive the maximum value without falling prey to scams or undervaluation? This is where strategy and knowledge become your greatest allies. Auction houses, private collectors, and certified appraisers are the pathways to transforming a simple coin into liquid wealth. Understanding the market, timing your sale, and presenting your coin in its best possible condition can mean the difference between thousands and millions of dollars. Think for a moment. Have you ever wondered how ordinary people turn ordinary coins into extraordinary wealth? How do they navigate the competitive world of rare coin auctions? The answer is research, patience, and connections. These aren't just coins, they are keys to a lifestyle of luxury, financial freedom, and possibilities that most people only dream about. And it all begins with knowledge, recognizing what you have, understanding its rarity, and acting decisively when the moment comes. Now, here's the urgency you need to feel: coins like the 1979 D Washington Quarter error don't stay under the radar forever. With more collectors and investors entering the market every day, the demand is skyrocketing. Prices are climbing, and the window to act may be shorter than you think. Could the coin in your drawer today be tomorrow's headline story? Could it be the one that elevates you from collector to millionaire? The answer might be closer than you imagine, and here's a question that hits at the heart of every collector's curiosity: how do you make money from coins? How do you go from pocket change to potentially life-altering wealth? The path is clear for those willing to learn. Start by inspecting your collection, educate yourself about rare errors, connect with trusted dealers, and never underestimate the value of patience. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story ends with a $3 million revelation. So, as we connect the dots from discovery to opportunity, remember this: the 1979 D Washington Quarter error isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of what's possible when attention meets opportunity, when knowledge meets action, and when curiosity meets courage. The world of rare coins is a world where ordinary objects can create extraordinary outcomes. Where the smallest item in your possession could be the catalyst for unimaginable change. And finally, for anyone watching this, asking themselves quietly, could this be me? Could I find a coin worth millions? The answer is yes. It could be you. It could be today. The coins you pass by, the change you drop into a jar, the boxes of old collections gathering dust, all of it could hold the next great American treasure. And when you do find it, knowing how to sell it correctly, understanding its maximum value, and connecting with the right buyers could be the key to turning that hidden gem into $3 million. So, ask yourself, how many coins have you overlooked? How many opportunities have passed unnoticed in your very own home? And how ready are you to act if fortune smiles upon you? The 1979 D Washington Quarter error is more than a coin. It's a reminder that wealth, excitement, and opportunity often hide in the most unexpected places. Keep your eyes open, your knowledge sharp, and your ambition high. Because the next quarter you pick up could very well be your ticket to a millionaire's life. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could turn your life upside down, in the most thrilling way possible. Not just any coin, but a 1990 D Washington Quarter dollar, the kind of rare treasure that collectors and investors dream about. Did you know that a single coin, sitting quietly in someone's pocket or tucked away in a dusty drawer, can be worth an astonishing $3 million today? Yes, you heard that right, $3 million. The very thought makes your heart race, doesn't it? How many coins have you tossed aside, never imagining that one of them could hold unimaginable wealth? Let's step back for a moment. You've seen quarters thousands of times. They jingle in your pocket, disappear into your coffee jars, or vanish in your car's cup holder. But among all those ordinary coins, there exists a rare 1990 D Washington Quarter error, a coin so unique that it has collectors and wealthy investors scrambling to get their hands on it. What makes it so valuable? It's a combination of its minting mistake, its pristine condition, and the sheer rarity of its existence. Imagine finding something so exclusive, a coin that practically guarantees its owner a place in the elite world of high-value collectibles. Now, you might be asking yourself, could I have one of these in my collection? Or worse, could I have unknowingly spent it in my pocket change? That fear, that rush of urgency, is exactly why collectors across the country are paying attention. Coins like this are no longer just currency, they are tickets to a lifestyle most only dream about. How many people can claim that a coin in their hands could buy them a mansion, a private jet, or even a small island? And yet, for a few lucky individuals, that is reality. Let's talk about the coin itself. The 1990 D Washington Quarter dollar error isn't just valuable because it's old, it's valuable because it's extraordinary. Mistakes during minting can create variations that are incredibly rare. A misplaced die, an off-center strike, or doubled images, all of these tiny errors can make a coin worth thousands, even millions. Can you imagine something as small as a minting mistake being worth millions of dollars? Funny, right? That little slip at the mint might just have created your fortune, but here's the exciting part: this coin isn't just sitting in some museum. It's in circulation, quietly waiting to be discovered. How many of us have pocket change that could be hiding a fortune? Could that jar of coins on your counter or that old box of collectibles in your attic contain your golden ticket? The thrill is real, and the stakes are high. People are asking, how can I sell old and rare coins in the USA? Where do I even begin? If that's your question, you're not alone. Many collectors and sellers struggle to navigate auctions, private sales, and coin shops. But knowing the right steps can turn a simple coin into life-changing wealth. Here's a secret: the market for rare coins like this is booming. High-net-worth individuals, passionate collectors, and savvy investors are constantly on the lookout. They don't just want coins, they want history, rarity, and prestige. And the 1990 D Washington Quarter dollar era delivers all three. Its scarcity makes it a trophy coin, one that commands attention and sky-high prices. Imagine the satisfaction of holding a coin that people are literally willing to pay millions for. That feeling is electric, isn't it? Let's pause and imagine the possibilities. What would you do if you discovered such a coin in your collection? Could you turn it into a lucrative investment? Or would you be too nervous to sell, worried about losing out on its full value? This is where knowledge becomes power. Selling a rare coin isn't just about handing it over for cash, it's about understanding its market value, finding the right buyers, and maximizing your profit. How do you make sure you don't undersell something that could be worth a fortune? This is where professional appraisers and auction houses come into play, offering guidance and access to buyers who truly appreciate its worth. Here's a question that often comes up: can I really make money from coins in my pocket? Absolutely. From small change to multimillion-dollar treasures, history is full of stories where ordinary Americans discovered extraordinary wealth in their own homes. A misplaced coin, a forgotten collection, or even a gift from a family member can become a life-altering discovery. How many times have you tossed a quarter into a vending machine, never knowing it could have been a golden ticket? Now, imagine the thrill of realizing that a simple quarter in your hand is one of the rarest coins in the world. That's excitement and fear wrapped into one powerful moment. You may also wonder, how do I sell old rare coins in the USA? Should I go to an auction shop or sell privately? The truth is, both options have potential. Auction houses specialize in rare coins and often attract high-profile buyers willing to pay top dollar. Private sales, on the other hand, can offer discretion and speed. But whatever route you choose, knowledge is your best ally. Understanding the coin's history, its rarity, and current market trends ensures you get the maximum value. Could you imagine selling your coin for millions without even realizing its true potential? That's why staying informed is key, and here's where it gets even more fascinating. The 1990 D Washington Quarter dollar era isn't just about money, it's about status. Owning such a coin elevates you into the rarefied world of high-value collectors. You're not just a coin owner, you're part of an elite circle that understands history, artistry, and wealth. There's a story behind every coin, a tale of its creation, and a journey through time that connects you to generations before you. How many opportunities do we get to hold history, value, and prestige in the palm of our hand? This coin is more than metal, it's legacy. Now, let's bring it all together. From the moment you first hear about the 1990 D Washington Quarter era, to imagining it quietly sitting in a jar or drawer, to understanding its true worth in today's market, every step is an opportunity. Every coin you've ever held could be a story waiting to be told, a treasure waiting to be claimed. And for one lucky person, that $3 million coin could be their reality. Could it be you? How will you know if you don't check? What's stopping you from examining that collection in your attic or the coins in your pocket? The answers could change your life. In conclusion, rare coins like the 1990 D Washington Quarter dollar era remind us that extraordinary wealth can come from the most ordinary places. They challenge us to look closer, think bigger, and act decisively. Whether it's fear, excitement, or urgency that drives you, one thing is clear: opportunities like this don't wait. They're fleeting, rare, and immensely rewarding. From pocket change to millions, from curiosity to life-changing wealth, the journey begins with a single coin. Could you be holding a treasure worth $3 million right now? The only way to know is to start looking, learning, and acting before it's too late. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, so ordinary at first glance, yet carrying the power to transform your life. Picture a small piece of history, minted decades ago, lying unnoticed in your change jar or hidden in a forgotten drawer. Now, imagine that coin is a rare 1995 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter dollar error, a treasure so valuable that collectors would pay a staggering $2 million to own it today. Could this tiny piece of metal really make someone rich overnight? The answer is yes, and it might just be sitting quietly in your home right now. You might be asking yourself, how can a coin, just a quarter in size, be worth millions? And why would anyone care about a subtle minting mistake on a coin from 1995? The excitement begins with understanding the rarity and demand. Most quarters from that year are common, mass-produced, and easily found in circulation. But the D Mint Mark error is different. Only a handful exist, and each one is a testament to a moment when perfection slipped through the cracks of the U.S. Mint's machines. Mistakes like these are not flaws, they are opportunities. Here's a question for you: what would you do if you found a coin worth millions in your pocket change? Sell it? Keep it as a family heirloom? Or just stare at it in disbelief? The truth is, coins like the 1995 D Mint Mark error are not just valuable, they are highly sought after by collectors who understand that history, rarity, and demand drive incredible prices. The market for these coins is intense. Auctions explode with anticipation as bidders compete, sometimes frantically, to secure a single example. And here's the kicker: the coin's value is not theoretical. Its current market price is a jaw-dropping $2 million, a sum that could completely reshape your financial future. Let's take a moment to picture this journey. A coin begins as a piece of pocket change, unremarkable, blending into the daily transactions of Americans across the country. But one coin, flawed in the eyes of the mint, yet perfect for collectors, takes a dramatic turn. Its story transforms from mundane to extraordinary. Suddenly, it's the centerpiece of high-stakes auctions, a treasure that draws wealthy collectors, museums, and investors. And the best part? You could be the one holding this ticket to unimaginable wealth. Now, you might be thinking, how can I know if I have one of these coins? What signs should I look for? The 1995 D Mint Mark error is subtle but unmistakable for trained eyes. The placement of the D Mint mark can be doubled, misaligned, or unusually raised, a detail invisible to the casual observer. That small irregularity is what creates millions in value. And if you've been tossing quarters into a jar for years, it's worth taking a closer look. You never know when fortune might be hiding in plain sight. Here's a little secret: many of the world's wealthiest coin collectors began their journey not with gold or silver, but with small, overlooked coins. They knew the potential hidden in errors, in rarity, in historical significance. And now, it's your turn. How do you take that first step from casual collector to someone who could sell a coin for millions? How do you navigate auctions, dealers, and private sales without leaving money on the table? The key lies in education, research, and timing. Knowing the current market, understanding grading systems, and seeking reputable buyers can make the difference between a missed opportunity and a life-changing sale. But let's pause for a second. Have you ever wondered why a coin error becomes so valuable in the first place? It's simple: scarcity and demand. Humans have always placed extraordinary value on things that are rare and unique. Whether it's a vintage car, a first edition book, or a misprinted coin, scarcity creates desire. And the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter is the perfect example. Its rarity isn't just a statistical fact, it's a story that collectors crave. Imagine being the owner of a coin that no one else in the world can easily find. The power of ownership is intoxicating. Now, let's talk about the emotional side. Finding such a coin triggers excitement, a thrill that borders on disbelief. You feel urgency, knowing the longer you wait, the higher the competition becomes. How quickly can you act? Who should you contact? Should you sell now or wait for an even bigger auction? These questions drive action, and action is what transforms ordinary coin holders into millionaires. Speaking of selling, here's another crucial point. How do you sell a coin like this safely and profitably in the USA? Do you list it online? Approach a local coin dealer? Or head straight to a major auction house? The truth is, selling rare coins requires strategy. You need to work with experts who understand grading, provenance, and market trends. A single misstep could cost hundreds of thousands, even millions. But with the right guidance, your coin could reach a buyer willing to pay the full market value, ensuring that your discovery translates into real wealth. And here's a thought: what if your coin isn't just about money? What if it represents legacy, history, and the thrill of discovery? Selling it doesn't mean losing the story, it means sharing it with someone who will appreciate its rarity, while giving you the financial freedom to pursue your dreams. From pocket change to millions, your coin could become the symbol of a journey few ever experience. How many times in life do you encounter an opportunity so rare that it can redefine your future? Now, let's inject a little humor to reset the focus. Imagine someone finding a 1995 DDO Quarter in their couch cushions and thinking, great, just enough to buy a coffee. Oh wait, this could be $2 million. It's almost cinematic, right? Life has a funny way of hiding treasures in plain sight, and sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we overlook every day. Returning to our story, consider this: collectors aren't just chasing coins, they're chasing moments in history. Every era tells a story of the minting process, the hands that shape the coin, and the tiny imperfections that turn ordinary metal into extraordinary wealth. The 1995 D Mint Mark era isn't just a coin, it's a piece of American history, frozen in time, and waiting to reward the observant and courageous. As we draw closer to the conclusion, let's reflect. The journey of a single coin can span decades, traveling from the hands of everyday Americans into the spotlight of international auctions. Along the way, it creates excitement, fear of missing out, and the irresistible allure of wealth. It challenges us to look closer at the objects we take for granted, to imagine the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary, and to act before opportunities slip away. So, what's the takeaway? If you're sitting on a jar of old coins, it's time to take a closer look. Ask yourself, could I have a 1995 D Mint Mark era? Could this coin be worth $2 million? How do I safely sell it in the USA? What steps do I take to ensure I receive the highest value? Each question is a gateway to potential fortune, a nudge toward action, and a reminder that rare coins can change lives. Remember, wealth isn't just about earning more, it's about recognizing opportunities others overlook. It's about spotting the extraordinary where others see the ordinary. Your 1995 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar could be more than a coin, it could be a life-changing discovery, a symbol of rare luck, and the key to financial freedom. From pocket changes to millions, the story is waiting for you to turn the page. So, are you ready to search, discover, and potentially transform your life with one small coin? How will you make your move before someone else snatches your treasure? The 1995 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar isn't just an error, it's a rare, highly demanded piece of history, and today, it could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a coin, and discovering it's worth $2 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But for a rare few, this isn't a dream, it's reality. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most extraordinary finds in American numismatics, the 1997 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar era. This coin has captivated collectors, investors, and dreamers across the United States, turning ordinary pocket change into unimaginable wealth. How could a coin minted just decades ago be worth millions? How can you recognize it? And most importantly, how could this tiny piece of metal change your life forever? Let's begin with the story behind this incredible coin. The Washington Quarter, a familiar sight in every American wallet, has been circulating for decades. Yet, in 1997, a remarkable error slipped past the mint's quality control, creating a coin that collectors would hunt like treasure. It's not just rare, it's historically significant, unique, and in extremely limited supply. Now, imagine holding one of these coins in your hand. The thrill, the disbelief, the sudden realization that what seemed ordinary could be worth millions. It's the ultimate aha moment every collector dreams about. Can you feel your heart racing just thinking about it? What makes this 1997 Washington Quarter so exceptional? The error is subtle, almost hidden to the untrained eye, but it makes all the difference. It's the kind of mistake that transforms a common coin into an irreplaceable treasure. Think about it, how often does an everyday coin suddenly hold more value than your savings account? This is why collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums. Imagine auction rooms buzzing with excitement, gavel after gavel, until someone walks away with a piece of history that could be yours. Isn't that incredible? Now, here's a little humor to reset your mind. Have you ever looked at a pocket quarter and thought, maybe this one is secretly a millionaire? Well, for some, that thought isn't far from reality. But don't worry, no judgment here. If anything, it's a reminder that fortune often hides in the most ordinary places. Your next trip to the store, the coffee shop, or even your old coin jar could hold the key to a life-changing discovery. Let's pause for a moment. What if you do have this rare 1997 Washington Quarter? How do you even begin to sell it? Where do you go? How do you ensure you get the full $2 million value? These are questions every collector and investor must face. Should you approach a private auction, a trusted coin dealer, or perhaps an online platform? And how do you guarantee authenticity, grading, and the attention of the right buyers who truly understand the coin's historic value? These aren't just questions, they're the gateway to turning a hidden gem into a financial reality. But before you act, consider this: thousands of coins circulate daily, and only a few are ever recognized for their true worth. That means time is critical. Each day you wait is another day someone else might claim what could have been yours. Isn't that a little nerve-wracking? A little exciting? That's the emotional roller coaster of the coin collecting world: fear, excitement, and urgency all wrapped into one tiny piece of history. Here's where things get even more fascinating. How did such a rare error even happen? The U.S. Mint is meticulous, precise, and known for its high standards. Yet, in 1997, a rare misstrike or die error created a coin that stands apart from every other Washington quarter. Mistakes like these are extraordinarily rare. In fact, many collectors say that finding one of these error coins is like finding a needle in a haystack, except this needle is worth millions of dollars. Doesn't that make you want to check every coin in your jar tonight? Let's talk strategy for a moment. If you want to sell old and rare coins in the United States, what's the best approach? First, get your coin authenticated and graded by a professional. This ensures that potential buyers can trust its legitimacy. Next, consider specialized auctions that cater specifically to rare coins. And finally, always keep the history and story of your coin front and center, because collectors pay not just for rarity, but for the story behind it. Imagine walking into an auction room and telling the tale of how this coin slipped past the mint in 1997. Doesn't that alone add a layer of allure that money can't buy? And here's a thought-provoking question: how many people have thrown away or spent coins worth millions because they didn't realize their value? It's a sobering reminder to look closely at your old coins. That jar of quarters, dimes, or pennies sitting in your home could hold a fortune just waiting for discovery. What if the next coin you inspect turns out to be the one that changes everything? The excitement doesn't end there. Have you ever wondered how collectors determine value? It's not just about rarity, it's about condition, historical significance, and demand. A coin in pristine condition can command an extraordinary price, especially when the story behind it captivates collectors worldwide. That's why the 1997 Mint Mark Washington Quarter is not just a coin, it's a symbol of possibility, proof that ordinary objects can carry extraordinary value. How amazing would it feel to be part of this elite group of collectors and investors? Now, let's connect all the dots. From discovering this rare coin to navigating the selling process, the journey is as thrilling as the destination. Imagine holding a 1997 Mint Mark Washington Quarter, knowing its story, understanding its market value, and preparing to enter an auction that could transform your life. The fear of missing out, the excitement of the potential, and the urgency to act converge into one life-changing moment. So, what's your next step? Start by examining your collection. Look at every coin, every pocket change, and every old jar of coins in your home. Ask yourself, could one of these be a rare find like the 1997 Washington Quarter? How would I feel if I discovered a coin worth $2 million? How do I ensure it reaches the right buyer, for the right price, at the right time? These aren't just questions, they're opportunities calling your name. Before we end, here's a final thought. Rare coins like this one don't stay hidden forever. Their allure is too great, their value too enticing. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment to explore the world of coin collecting and selling, that moment is now. From ordinary pocket change to millions of dollars, the path is real, attainable, and thrilling. Will you take the leap? Will you explore the potential sitting quietly in your coin jar, waiting to reveal its secrets? There's only one way to find out.